So I've been itching to get. I haven't been itching to get to this slide all day, but
Yes, you have. This is the
Yeah,
the one.
okay.
for anybody watching this video on YouTube, I'm probably gonna edit it to try to clean it up. But every time I was trying to move around that calendar, I've never tested it before, and it would get screwed up and keep going to this slide by accident. But okay, this is another thing I want to discuss. So this was from Clash in Paris. So according to our calendar, this was on the 31st at the end of August. So we're going back a little bit, even though we've already done a lot of September for the John Cena and AJ Lee stuff. But I'm going back because I thought a really crazy thing happened between Paul Heyman and Roman Reigns, who used to be aligned.
Good time.
Now Heyman is on the other side in Seth Rollins' stable. And this was after Roman Reigns defeated Bronson Reed. And Heyman was going to give his shoes back that he stole from, that Bronson Reed stole from Roman Reigns. And then Roman, what did he do? He choked him out. Did he give him a Superman punch?
No, just
I
the joke.
think so.
Just choked out? Okay. So I wasn't sure why Braun Breaker wasn't out there while all this was happening. I was like, well, what is he doing? But okay, dramatically, he does come in and take care of Roman. And I thought this was a great moment because he was just in some kind of mindset there, you know, where he had just taken down Roman Reigns. Paul Heyman gets helped out. Roman got taken out. So basically, since I've stopped watching, he's been gone.
Correct.
He hasn't been back since this Clash in Paris show where he defeated Bronson Reed but got taken out by the Vision. So that's all we got on that. But I thought that was a cool moment because he finally got his hands on Heyman and did a little bit of damage, not too much, and then he got put out. So he gets to go back on vacation. Roman can just do this like every time. Just every time he comes back, just come in, take a big ass whooping, and get injured, and just go on vacation. Because that's what the tribal chief does, right? Huh? Just get his ass whooped and take months off at a time. But okay, what did you guys think of this night? Do you have any thoughts about this, Vlad, or was I the only one in being very floored by this event that happened here?
You were floored? Well, I wasn't exactly floored. I thought it was pretty good. The only issue is, I mean, the Heyman thing was kind of interesting, obviously. You know, it was such a choke that basically he was in the hospital for weeks, right? Heyman wasn't around for for a while. The thing with the Roman thing is they've already done this thing where they beat him up and left him laying, and then he needed to be out a couple of weeks or months or whatever. It's getting old, and it's a problem with the fact that he just is not there regularly. Now, I know he was doing some sort of filming, as what I heard. He's in this new Street Fighter movie. Good for him, I guess. But, you know, as far as the wrestling show, it suffers because it makes no sense. Like, they've done this angle, or I think maybe multiple times, where he's been laid out and had to, and just by the Vision, then he makes this comeback, right, when you least expect it. It's kind of getting old. They either need him to be there full time, or they need to stop with using him this way. That's my opinion on the subject. That's how I feel.
Well, Robert, I just want to give praise to Braun Breaker for being such a badass. I mean, shit. He took out Roman Reigns. You got to give it up to him for that, right, Robert?
Yeah, I mean, he's been badass for a while now, but yes.
For a long time.
But in this segment, yes, for sure.
All right, any other thoughts about this? Because I'm going to move on to some more stuff involving Paul Heyman.
You can move on.
All right, so with Roman Reigns out of the way, when Brock Lesnar came back, I didn't mention this along with the Cena feud that we just went through, but he did have a reunion with Lesnar. Lesnar bumped into Heyman on SmackDown and said, hey, we should talk, right? And Heyman's not with Roman anymore, so why the fuck not? So, and then the very next night on WrestlePalooza, Paul Heyman showed up, and he was his hype man and his manager, basically, for that match against Cena. So, there you go. They're back together. Any thoughts about this?
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to use Lesnar, you do need Heyman to cut most of his promos, because Lesnar's really not good on the mic. Let's just be honest. He's kind of rather bland, and he shouldn't really be cutting a lot of promos. If you need someone like Heyman to do his talking, this works. If you're going to use Lesnar, like they're going to be using Lesnar, Heyman should be there. That's for sure.
bygones be bygones, huh? All the stuff that happened between Roman and Brock and the Usos and Solo and everything.
Like how they
Like,
beat him, they used to beat him up repeatedly, left him threw tables on top of him.
yeah, the no disqualification WWE matches where like he was fighting every single member of the bloodline.
He was fighting like 5 of them at once.
Okay, all right. Robert, any thoughts on this reunion?
It's just business.
No, I was thinking the same thing when they were reuniting. I'm like, does Brock Lesnar have short-term memory or bad long-term memory? He just didn't forgot what happened the last time they were together. I don't know. But having said all that, if I'm gonna have someone do an introduction to Brock Lesnar, I would want it to be Paul Heyman because nobody can introduce Brock Lesnar better than Paul Heyman does. That's all I have to say about that.
All right, well, let me run through some more headlines here before I get to my rejected story angles that we'll just speed through. But Cody defending the title against Drew McIntyre, I guess, the WWE title, the undisputed WWE title. I guess I had to include this as a headline here. So this happened at WrestlePalooza this past weekend, but it started, like I mentioned earlier, at the beginning of August when Drew McIntyre put him out. So for a large chunk of time here, Cody Rhodes was out after he was attacked by Drew McIntyre. And then there was residual feud between Drew McIntyre and Randy Orton from that SummerSlam feud. So after that, Randy Orton came back. They had a match. And I think Drew McIntyre was trying to beat up Randy Orton after his match when Cody returned. And that led to their match at WrestlePalooza, which Cody won. So he was victorious. Beat Drew McIntyre, and there's Drew McIntyre. Actually, Drew McIntyre hurt his leg during the match, right? Was that what happened? Well, Vlad didn't see the pay-per-view. He refuses to sign up for ESPN.
Was that a legit injury? Or?
I mean, I don't know these type of things,
okay.
but I'm just saying he hurt his leg during the match. Robert, I have to respect the business.
We're still doing the. You're not breaking kick. You're still doing the kick. Okay.
Robert, any thoughts on this whole thing? I mean, I didn't think it was.
So Cody was out for a while, and from what I heard, he was out because he's playing as Guile in the
him too. He's also in Street Fighter
movie. So both him and Roman Reigns. That's pretty interesting. But okay, anyways, so his absence was noticeable. I hope he doesn't do too many of that, like what's been happening with Roman, because otherwise he's going to suffer the same issue as Roman, which is there's going to be a lack of continuity, right? We don't want that in wrestling. So hopefully that he's staying around for a while. So yeah, because of his lengthy absence, this feud wasn't that great. The match was fine, but the feud was just whatever.
Yeah, I mean, he got kicked through that announce desk, which I thought was a good moment for Drew McIntyre. Mm-hmm. But other than that, I am sad that Drew lost that match. I was very much rooting for him. I'm a huge Drew McIntyre fan. Unfortunate the way it went down. But all right, Vlad, Drew and Cody. I mean, it is a high-profile feud, but did it fall a little flat here or what?
Yeah, it fell flat for the reasons Robert said. This could have been a great feud, considering how good Cody is and definitely how good Drew has been as a heel. It started off pretty good with that moment where he kind of did that, the kick into the table, and that was good. But then with Cody not being there and then just coming back after the match with Orton, the Drew had with Orton, I should say, there wasn't a lot there. There wasn't a lot, really great build-up for this thing as it could have been. The match, I'm sure, was fine. I didn't watch the pay-per-view, the PLE. I mean, I would think that these guys could put on Cody's and Drew are really two really good workers. So the fact that they could put on a good match, I wouldn't be surprised if they did. I just think there was a lot missing in this thing that could have made it like a really top feud. That could be a feud that could carry a company or a show for many months. They just didn't do enough with it, and I guess it's because Cody's now like also making movies and stuff. Well, the thing is, I think if you're going to be the world champion, you got to be there regularly. Honestly, that's my opinion on that. If you're going to be making movies and that's your interest, cool, more power to you, but you shouldn't be the world champion. That's how I feel on the subject. You got to be there.
Yeah, there's plenty of people who really should be the world champion, like LA Knight. Yeah. Anyways,
That was good, guys. Did you guys practice that while I was
No.
away?
No, we didn't. I didn't know that was coming.
Yeah, but that was really good. Yeah, there are plenty of guys. I'm not sure if LA Knight was the guy that I would choose, but
LA Knight would be champion if it weren't for Jey Uso. But we'll get to that a little later on.
all right.
No
Maybe.
yeet.
No yeet. Listen, other than that, Cody is set to face, it looks like, Seth Rollins for the
Yes.
Crown Jewel title. So
Crown
that's
Jewel.
This should be
what they
good.
set up next. So these guys have fought before. This was Cody's return match at WrestleMania a few years ago. This is the first time he's feuding with the Vision's Seth Rollins. So they kindly let him pass, which I thought was a cool moment. But Paul Heyman, who has feuded with Cody many times, but here we go again. I don't know how I feel about that Crown Jewel Championship. I don't like them calling it a championship. It's not something to be defended. It's like a trophy. They should call it like the Crown Jewel Trophy. You know what I mean? I don't know. They've kind of conditioned us in wrestling that belts are to be defended. You know, I don't like when they give a belt as a trophy.
Yeah, but they don't don't they win it and then they lock it away or something? Like they or some weird thing.
I don't know what the fuck.
It's like it's not really even a trophy, but like I remember last year, like they won it, but like I forget it. I don't even know why I'm thinking about this. But yes, they don't carry that belt.
I got some rejected story angles that didn't make it to headlines. Cody Rhodes. Speaking of therapists, how about Cody giving Jey Uso a motivational speech out of nowhere? These guys are not really involved together right now. That's why I put this as like a separate little thing. But I thought that was weird, bro. Like, dude, I don't know. Like, go take care of your own shit. I thought this was a nice little moment from Penta and Rusev. This would have been an AEW feud at one point in time. New Day, they are still mourning the death of the World Tag Team titles. So they did have an interesting thing, though, other than the stupid thing they usually do where they mourn the World Tag Team title picture. They attacked Penta. So they did have a little feud going there. Another thing is look at how far this got relegated. The WWE Tag Team Championship picture. How about this one? You guys have any thoughts about this? Bray, oh my God, I said Bray Wyatt. He looks exactly like Bray Wyatt, by the way.
He does.
I can't believe this has fallen apart so bad, considering the start the Wyatt 6 got.
I do.
They could use Bo Dallas as basically like they could have just replaced Bray Wyatt with him. It would have been the same thing. But I don't know what's going on here and why they get such little airtime. This goes sometimes a couple weeks without being mentioned right now. So I don't know if you guys noticed that because there was 2 SmackDowns.
Well, they've been on SmackDown, kind of. I mean, haven't they been? Well, aren't they like the champ? Like, isn't his group the champions or something of the tag
They are the
team?
champions. They had a title defense at WrestlePalooza, but for a couple weeks before that, no appearances on the show.
And they won. They won at WrestlePalooza, right?
They did win, yes. Well, Bo Dallas helped them, Uncle Howdy. And he does this thing where he goes around the backstage and anybody who's like in the tag division, he kind of tries to creep them out, I guess. These are the things that happen backstage.
I don't know, bro.
Between that.
This is all not very good, honestly.
Speaking of one-off, this was a one-off storyline, Fraxium versus The Vision on SmackDown. I want to give that a shout-out. All right, here's another one. This is very low on the card. I'm almost done here.
I do have a question, but I'll wait. Oh, actually,
I was gonna jump to Solo. Why? Did you want to talk about The Vision versus Fraxium or?
God no! What?
Okay. All right, what the fuck? You told me to stop.
I thought you had something to say.
Not about that. I had a thing that just came into my mind that has nothing to do with.
All right, let's talk about Solo first, though. Then we'll talk about the thing in your mind. Okay, so Solo's revival after he lost his U.S. title. I guess this is a running thing that's been going on the show. Anybody interested in this?
What do you say, revival?
Think about like he wants that guy. What's his name to be a champion now or something?
Tongaloa.
Tongaloa. It didn't really make sense. Like he's not saying that he's going to be a champion again. He's like, I want to make Tongaloa a champion. I'm like, what? Okay, that's kind of stupid. That's kind of stupid.
Well, he cares about his family tree, okay?
Yeah, whatever.
But yeah,
I didn't really get it.
I don't know. I think he had a little bit of legitimacy when he had that U.S. title around his waist. Now, not so much. Penta and the War Raiders seem to be friends now. I guess they hang out.
Yeah.
The War Raiders.
Yeah, that's cool.
They also are wanting to go after the World Tag Team titles because Raw is war.
Hey, I like that. Is that what they said in their promo?
Yeah, that's their catchphrase now. You've never heard them cut a promo, Vlad? You skip all their
I
promos?
swear to God, I have not.
Oh my God.
I've never heard them cut a promo.
You didn't know their catchphrase is Raw is war?
This must be like on the international one that you get, because I don't think this shows up on my Netflix one. I don't think I've ever heard them speak.
I don't remember seeing that either.
You've never heard them cut a promo?
I've heard them cut a promo, but not recently.
Yeah, definitely not recently.
All right. Well, then fine. I guess this is a heads up. That's their catchphrase. I don't think it's creative. I mean, it's somewhat creative for the insider fan that knows Raw is War was a show. But as a catchphrase, what does that mean? Raw is war. Okay. All right. Whatever. Here's another one. Maxine Dupree. She wants an opportunity.
To do what?
I'm getting very low on this story. I'm basically done here. I got nothing.
God, she wants an opportunity for
the
what?
last one I got is R-Truth trying to get Nick Aldis into Fireball. So R-Truth hasn't really been doing much backstage.
What happened here with the R-Truth thing? What a disaster. Like, he cut that amazing...
they brought him back because the fans clamored for them to come back, and now they got him hawking Fireball backstage.
And then
Fireball is disgusting.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, he cut that amazing promo where he cut his hair and he talked about
and he was going to be Ron Killing. I thought he was supposed to be.
Thing. And they've gone back to the comedy act. Unbelievable. This company sometimes really confuses me. This was one of those times. I'm like, why? He cut this amazing thing. They could have used him as like a really good character and like, F it, let's just have him do the funnies again. Let him go back to being an idiot. I don't get it, but okay.